Hello, this is Virtualis the Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. The Leonhardt Gambit is a very fun way to play against the Queen A5 line of the Scandinavian Defense. Today, I'm going to show you an absolutely majestic trap line that comes out of this gambit. Let's go take a look. I played the white pieces in this game, so e4, and my opponent played immediate d5, Scandinavian Defense. We take that pawn, they capture back with queen, and of course we now have knight c3, pressuring the queen, and my opponent plays queen a5, one of the best lines in the Scandinavian, that main line in the Scandinavian, the queen a5. Now in this line, we now have access to the Leonhardt Gambit, the immediate b4 attacking the queen. Now for the player with the black pieces in the Scandinavian, not familiar with the gambit, this might look a little bit mystifying. It looks like it's hanging, looks like they can capture, looks like they should capture, and in fact they should. That is in fact the best move. The usual way of playing the Leonhardt Gambit now would be rook b1, lining up the rook with an attack on the queen, and rook down the b file, potentially some clever pressure down on the queen side. However, in the trap line, we make the first move now, which is a dubious move, but kind of okay in practice. And that is knight to b5, immediately attacking the c7 pawn or c7 square, which of course comes with a fork of the king and rook. So it looks like black really needs to do something about that attack. Now the queen can't just straight up take the knight because it is defended by the light square bishop, and generally the most logical looking way of defending that square is to bring the queen back to a5. That's where they were before. That's a good square for the queen. This isn't a false move, but pretty much you're guaranteed that the queen will move back to a5, which is where we want it to be. The next step in a trap is now bishop to c4. Again, it's an inaccuracy. And very commonly now, black will look at this position and not see the impending trap, the impending risk on the pawn on f7. And so what they might do is to try to attack the knight. In this game, that's what my opponent did. They played c6 with an attack on the knight, and you can see Stockfish recognizes this as a blunder. Quite a bad blunder, so minus 1.78, almost minus 2 in this position. And basically, we now strike. We now have bishop captures pawn on f7, an absolutely brilliant move. Black actually needs to let that go, needs to move the king out of the way, lose the right to castle. It's almost inhuman if you're not familiar with this trap. We expect that the king will capture, and that is now a really bad blunder. It's almost it's worse than +5. The trap is now almost sprung. Queen now to h5 with check. Commonly, the king might move back, or maybe they will block the queen. In this case, they block the queen, which is actually the best move for black. But now we've got knight to d6 with check, with a discovered attack on the queen. They must do something about that knight. Here they capture, they should capture, and we capture the queen. So on move 10, black has traded away 2 minor pieces, a bishop and a knight, but gained a queen. And white here is now completely winning. Now, of course, with me playing white, you still need to win the game. So my opponent decided to play on. They were a really good sport. They do potentially have a bit of compensation. So my only bit of development is the queen. The queen is out, sort of in enemy territory, which means it potentially can get pushed around with development, with black developing. And they are up a couple of minor pieces. So attack the queen, have to move out of the way. They develop the knight, I develop a knight. They develop a bishop, attacking my queen, force to move the queen again. So every time they attack my queen, they potentially gain a bit of tempo. developed the knight. I decided to go aggressive, push forward my knight. That might not have been the best approach. Probably would have been better for me just to develop. That gives a check, give another check. And here, you know, that was a bit of a shuffle, which didn't really achieve very much. And my queen now gets a bit bullied by the knight pair. Two knights are potentially quite tricky. Now, I placed the queen in the wrong square, so Stockfish reckon placing the queen on g3 would have been best. I didn't see that. Now, at the moment, I'm still ahead, but I've lost some of my advantage, only plus 1.6. And remember, I'm a queen up, and they're two minor pieces up. They develop another piece. That wasn't good for them. I now saw a potential sort of good attack, you know, with the knight in that position as well. They make a move. Here I decided to short castles. They make an attack on the queen. And on move 21, I blunder my queen back. I bow test Gambit. I simply didn't see this diagonal with the dark square bishop. And of course, I lose my queen. And effectively, I am now just straight up down two minor pieces. Absolutely devastating, completely losing. Now, because my opponent was such a good sport and decided to play on after losing my their queen, I decided that I would play on a bit as well. And I thought, look, maybe I'll be able to push this pawn up. You know, maybe if I do a little bit of aggressive attacks, maybe I could trade one of their pieces for a pawn. That's what I was going for. You know, I have so centralized my rooks. I thought maybe I had something. So here I thought, you know, potentially, is there something there? They take. And I was thinking maybe, you know, maybe. But they saw, you know, that this was potentially a pin. They moved their king out of the way. And on move 29, I basically saw the writing was on the wall. There's just absolutely no way that I can win now from this position. And I opted to resign. Good game, GG. My big takeaway from this game is to always play on from a blunder in the opening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.